What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And did y'all see the impeachment hearings wrapped up? Now, President Trump and his counsel did an amazing job. In fact, they beat the mess out of the Democrats' whole argument. I mean, I'm talking about it wasn't even a close beating. This was one of those beatings that even if you were a complete liberal and you have bought into the whole narrative, you would be in a internal conflict. Your brain would be having a civil war with logic and Trump derangement syndrome. You would be saying to yourself, I want to still hang on to the whole impeachment narrative and all the rest of the garbage that I've been fed since Trump got elected. But my common sense and logic is saying, what are you doing? You're making us look bad. We're better than this. And so you would have to conclude that the Democrats, just like most practical, logical people know, have made up this whole fictitious impeachment for political purposes. And they did it sloppily. They didn't even do it nice. They did the old school patch job that your parent would do when you were little. Something would break, mama, the screen door broke. Well, you know what? Tell you what, go get some duct tape. And they would J-rig it. Yeah, don't mess around, break that window out in your car. We ain't going to call the insurance company. No, What we gonna do is we gonna get some plastic and some duct tape and we're going to go ahead and put that plastic around that window so when you on the freeway, it's flapping and scaring everybody in the car. And that's what they did. They pieced together an impeachment hearing, and it started off sounding real good until it was challenged. It's kind of like what Mike Tyson said. You know what? Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. That's true. The Democrats uncontested all last week with Adam Schiff up on stage with this theatrical performance. To be and not to be, that is the question. What is man compared to the steel that wields his hand? That all of that stuff. Yeah, he was a thespian last week. And all the left media, great performance, great. Bravo, encore. And then the adults came into the room and exposed all of that garbage in such a systematic, wonderful way. It was just beautiful. Now, the biggest argument, the big takeaway from it all is this. Based on how the Republicans laid out their argument and went point by point to destroy every one of their accusations, it comes down to, do you want to even allow this to appear to be a legitimate impeachment after that land bashing? Now, I used to say, well, you know what? If they want to go to war, they want to get all of these witnesses. Let's do it. Because I don't know about you, but I definitely want to hear what Hunter Biden and Joe Tight Eyes Biden have to say about the situation, along with Pencil Neck and the so-called whistleblower. I want to hear all that. But do we want to allow that process to go on so that people still think this was a legitimate impeachment, which lowers the bar of impeachment and sets the worst standard for impeachment in our history? And that's what Alan Dershowitz was arguing. And I agreed to a degree. Because yes, I do want to hear from Biden and all that. But see, I was thinking about it. I like analogies. Y'all like analogies? I'm about to give you one even if you don't. So you take the high jump. Since we're talking about lowering the bar. The reason that the high jump is difficult is because they keep increasing the bar. Right now, at my age, if the bar's set right about my waist level, I'm going to look amazing. I'm going to run out there and have the back bend and everything. Yeah, feet up at the end, all of that. You get up to about 5 foot, my forearm starts to break down. Instead of jumping this way, I might jump over like this. And you get above 5 foot, I don't know if I'm making it, might run under the bar, okay? And it separates good from bad or worse to better, meaning the best is more difficult as that bar gets higher, okay? It's set that way for a reason. Same thing with the poll vote, okay? They put it up there to show that not everybody can meet this level. And it's the same thing with impeachment. For them to drag out these articles of impeachment, which they claim was abuse of power and obstruction of Congress and have the Republicans destroy it like they did. For any one of those Republicans to give the Democrats, the raggedy Democrats, any room to legitimize this, to give them any votes to make them think, yeah, well, now we need to hear from John Bolton. No, we don't. We don't need to hear from nobody else. Their case got destroyed, and they should be embarrassed to even vote for the Democrats to have anything, including John Bolton. After hearing what they did to their case, John Bolton should be like, I ain't write that. I ain't even write that, because I don't want to go down in history as the guy that allowed this last minute suspect information with no sources to interfere with a upcoming presidential election, and also to give some type of credence to this fake bootleg impeachment. So let's talk about it real quick. So obstruction of power. Bottom line is this. You can't say obstruction of power because that's too vague. It's very vague. That means that when the president conducts business with any foreign leader and he says, okay, if you guys want our money, then these are things that I need to be done. Now, that right there falls within the guidelines of his executive authority and power. But if the Congress wanted to impeach him, they would take something that is legit and falls within the guidelines of his power and then assign a motive to it as if they're in his head to say, even though that was legal and it falls within your power, we feel that when you did it, it was evil. So you're abusing your power. See, kind of like with, if they really believe that argument, they would have went off on him about Mexico. Remember that? He said, all right, Mexico, if y'all don't help us with this illegal immigration situation, we're going to slap these tariffs on you. Now, based on that same argument, he said, if you don't do this, we gonna do this. Now, is that a quid pro quo? I'm just wondering. So now, what are they gonna say? All right, President Trump, I know that to the surface, to the naked eyeball, it looks as if you're doing this because we have a major problem on our border of illegal immigrants coming up there and going right on across our border like nobody sees them. And you are doing things to stop that from happening. Now, that's the logical approach. Okay, that's the naked eyeball. But we know that the real reason you did that is not to secure our border and make sure that Americans are safe. You did that because you hate Mexicans and you're racist. That's what it is. You're xenophobic. That's why you did it. Therefore, we feel that you can be impeached for doing something that's legal, but because we know your head, we know what's in your motive, then therefore, now you should be impeached. That right there is stupid. If you set that bar, now all the power gets thrown into the hands of Congress, who, if at any given moment they have the majority, Republican or Democrat, they can just say, I believe the president was had some bad motives when he did that. So they're trying to jump into our president's head. But even they go one step further, and this is what made their argument look real dumb. Then have the nerve to argue that the Ukrainian president didn't mean what he said. So I guess he's lying. You're going to make this dude be a victim. I would be upset. I would be like, wait a minute, you trying to tell me that I would feel like I feel now as a black man. Okay? All the Democrats and the white liberals always telling me that I got problems and I'm oppressed and the man is after me and race and systemic because I'm looking out windows and all over the place. You see some racism? I seen some. I think I saw some run across the street the other day. Yeah, like racism's all over the place. I'm not buying it, man. And stop telling me that I'm a victim when I keep telling you I'm not. Same thing with the Ukrainian president. Since they couldn't get their argument to stick, and the Ukrainian president's like, what? What are they talking about? Oh, he doesn't know what he means, okay? We'll tell you what he meant. Because on a subconscious level, he was moved to feel the necessity to comply with President Trump because deep down inside, he recognizes this big, bad America, and we're just little Ukraine, and we need everything from them. So do whatever you have to do just to secure all that. And I'm thinking, once again, you're causing people to have to suspend their reasoning skills, but you got that group out there. I don't even understand how we got this far with this whole argument. As soon as the Ukrainian president said it didn't happen, then that should have been it. Trump said it didn't happen. Ukraine said it didn't happen. Why are we even here? Then not to mention, they got everything. Not to mention, they got everything before the time limit. They made us think that, oh man, Trump went way past the deadline when it comes down to, withholding resources. No. He released those resources before the deadline was over. I think the deadline was like September 30th. He released it September 11th, ahead of schedule. Not to mention, Vice President Pence went over and met with the Ukrainian president and came back and verified that, okay, listen, he's legit. Right after that, they released the funds. Now, his case, the president's counsel, went through the whole litany of information talking about all the times Trump had complained about corruption, money that other countries were supposed to be participating in and they weren't doing it. All of those things. But the Democrats want you to think that Trump wasn't serious and interested in corruption. And they also wanted you to think this was just a one-time occurrence, meaning he never withheld money from any other country except for Ukraine. Bam, wrong. Dun, 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 dun. He did that with multiple countries during the same time he was withholding money from Ukraine for multiple different reasons, okay? Secondly, it's none of their business why he withholding the money because he run the executive branch and he deals with foreign policy. But nonetheless, to appease these bootleg Democrats, what'd he do? He released the transcript, which they tried to make it seem like he was hiding something. Please. Okay, they secured that stuff because of all of the leaks that was going on in the White House. But secondly, he releases the transcript. And then Nancy Pelosi, secondly, she jumps the gun and decides that we're going to go ahead and impeach without even reading the transcript. Now, here's what gets me. They want to tell us that, well, the president obstructed justice throughout the whole impeachment hearings and all that. No, they didn't. See, what happened is the House has the sole power of impeachment, not Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, and Jerry Nadler. Okay, it doesn't work like that, okay? That meant that they had to have a legitimate vote amongst the House to impeach. Oh, so you want the president to just start dishing out all types of information and telling people, go ahead and talk to my enemy who's looking to try to destroy me. Absolutely. I'm not going to even invoke executive privilege, which is my right. Even though this is not a legitimate impeachment, y'all too scared to pull the trigger. What's up with that? So then they want to use that as a reason to say obstruction of Congress. Now, all that time they had unlimited chances to subpoena people, but they didn't. They dropped subpoenas. They was like, forget it. It'll take too long. Okay. It might bleed into 2020. And we need this impeachment to take place so that we can stop him from winning in 2020. Not because we are afraid that he's a threat. He's an existential threat to our whole democracy. Because if that was the case, the Republicans brought it out very nicely. 33 days went by. That's right. Y'all went on vacation. Y'all kicked it, the little Christmas shopping. Came back like, all right, so what y'all want to do about this impeachment? All right, give me a second. You know what? Let's try to negotiate with them because, see, we know we came to court with a garbage case. We done pieced it together. We're in a goat cart race and we got different wheels on it. And everybody, oh, those the same wheels. We got a buggy wheel on one. We got a big wheel on the other. I mean, it doesn't work that way. Everybody else comes with a nice, neat goat cart, the box car, and you come with some garbage. And so they came to the race with a pieced together impeachment, and they want the Republicans to help them out now. They want the Senate to help them out by allowing them to extend their research and their investigation by bringing in some more witnesses. Bringing us to John Sorry behind Bolton. Okay. Now, if Johnny Bolton got some type of information he needs to dish out, then the man needs to say it because he knows what the Democrats and the media are doing with this quote unquote leaked document. So if that's the case, John, why don't you do like the Department of Justice did when bad information was leaked? They came out like, hey, that's not, we didn't do that. We didn't say that's incorrect. But instead, he letting this thing linger. And yet you trying to tell me it ain't for book sales? You trying to tell me John Bolton is not pimping this or allowing himself to be pimped by the bootleg, funky, dirty, nasty, crooked Democrats, he could have squashed this yesterday. Makes me sick to my stomach. That's why his mustache is running away from his face. Anyway, getting back to it. So after they destroyed their whole 2 articles, which game should be over at that point, they wanted to give them just a little warm up of what'll happen just in case y'all do manipulate these sorry behind Republicans that need to be primaried. The 4, they always go after the weak links. They're like a lion that's hunting. They ain't going to waste their time going after the strong gazelles. They're going to look at that gazelle over there that's coughing. Don't worry, I'll be okay. Oh, God. Dude, are you okay? I'm fine. Just give me a minute to get it together. All the other gazelles are looking at them like they're weak. Hey, if lions come, I'm sorry. We're going to have to leave you. And the lions pick out the weak ones to kill. Same thing with Romney and Collins and all of them. They are the weakest link. They are the weak, sickly, coughing, worm-infested, lice and nasty ticks on them gazelles that the lions, which are the Democrats, are looking at like they're easy prey. So now they are wavering concerning bringing in witnesses unnecessarily. Okay, fine. But did you hear that case yesterday? Breaking down Biden and his son's dealings. Do y'all really want that? Y'all want those type of problems? Now, this is where their whole argument breaks down, and I don't even know why any Republican would give Democrats a smidge of credit, a smidge of room to extend this thing. This is where the argument breaks down, because it all revolves around that President Trump asked for an investigation, which they didn't do, which the meeting took place. All of the things that they said President Trump did, none of it happened, including the fact that the Ukrainians had no idea that they were being shook down. I had no idea. What? Yeah. So bottom line is, if the whole argument, the reason we all here is because President Trump asked about these investigations for his own benefit for the 2020 upcoming election, had nothing to do with suspicious reasons that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, who done came out and on TV, I told that prosecutor that president to fire that prosecutor, and I'm leaving. And all of that, where he went out bragging and boasting because he probably never foreseen Trump winning the presidency. So all of that did not warrant a legitimate request or inquiry about Joe Biden and Hunter. None of that looks suspicious. If that is the case, all the Democrats, including these sorry for Republicans, all need to hand in whatever degrees they have. If they got a law degree, any of that stuff, hand it in, because your sense of awareness and suspicion about corruption is horrible. But we all know that it's not horrible because they're corrupt. They know corruption when they see it. Yeah, it takes one to know one. They're all sticking together. Yeah, you're corrupt, I'm corrupt. You're corrupt, you're corrupt, you're corrupt, I'm corrupt. Wouldn't you like to be corrupt to be corrupt? Yeah, so the bottom line is they know something was suspicious about Biden and, of course, Hunter with all of those deals. But for some reason, they ain't even curious. Nah. And they pointed out yesterday that the media, all the clips of the media being suspicious about that, questioning it, all the other agencies questioning it, but then suspiciously, all the curiosity just went away. Soon as this Biden began to run against Trump, and they were trying to use that whole case to impeach Trump, all of a sudden it went away. Just flew out the window. Flew right on out the window. Now, if you think that they're going to be able to bring in Bolton, which even if he do come in and say what he said, hey, President Trump told me this. Okay, just because I told you that, did I do it? Even if I told you that in the context. If I said, I put in a video the other day. If I say, man, I saw Don Lemonhead on TV the other day laughing like a hyena about Trump supporters. Like, yeah. I should go to all the way to wherever they film bootleg CNN and smack Don Lemon's face. So all of a sudden, I smacked Don Lemon's face? No, you didn't do it, actually. Then what are we here for? So when Bolton or whoever say, well, Trump said it was conditional and he wanted an investigation among Biden, did they give it to him? Did anybody hear him tell them that that's what I want? Did he tell any of y'all to go tell the Ukrainian president, this is my orders and my demands? No, no one. No one communicated any of this to the Ukrainian president or anyone on his staff. So how did that information get into their brain? How did he communicate that through osmosis? Or was he just that crazy enough to do it in some Morse code or some hidden message while he's on the phone with at least 200 people listening? See, these are the practical, logical things that destroy their whole argument, but yet they're still contemplating giving the Democrats witnesses. What is this, man? Somebody please let me just go to Congress, and I want to be like, you four, come here, all four of you. Let me talk to you for a minute. Pull them up to me like you do your kids in the store. You know, come here, let me talk to you for a minute. Were you smiling at them, but you ain't really smiling? You got that talk through your teeth smile. See, you gonna make me put my hands on you. You understand what I'm saying? You gonna embarrass me in front of everybody? Okay, see, when we get home, I'm gonna do some things to you. It's okay, everybody, we fine. I'm gonna kill you. You know that, right? That's the type of conversation I need to have with Romneys and the rest of them dudes, allowing themselves to be pimped out by the Democrats. But anyway, this is my whole summary, short summary of the whole, the Republicans and the counsel of the president's complete destruction. And that's just a smidge. I ain't even hit a lot of points. That's just a smidge of the destruction and devastation that they left yesterday and today. I mean, I'm talking bodies everywhere. I mean, I'm talking just rubbish and all kind of stuff. I mean, like a bomb just got blown up in there. And anybody who is naive, dumb enough, or that partisan to where they can't see that this is garbage, shame on you. Now, you've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. Don't forget to check me out tomorrow night, Wednesday, 7:30, live in Kevin's Corner on YouTube, Facebook, and my radio blog talk show. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, and the notification button. Check out Extreme Tees, my sponsor. If you like something, put Kevin in the promo code. You get a 20% discount. And if you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's a link in the bottom. And check this one out, y'all. When it comes down to hitting like, share, notifications, all that stuff, YouTube done took me down. Now how you like this? In 4 months, I've stayed at 153. Now I'm at 152. Not only did they keep me at 153, they taken me back down. So if you haven't checked to make sure you're subscribed, please do so. And make sure you hit like and share, and your notifications are set for all. They're playing games, that's why. All right, so and other than that, find me on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll see y'all tomorrow live in Kevin's Corner. God bless.